Moving on to favorite albums of 2016, I will be covering groups and solo artists. So, first doing the groups, here are my honorable mentions. Number 10 was Day6's Daydream. This album, from beginning to end, really shows Day6's growth and just how much they can really do. And now they've released, they're starting to release singles for 2017, so I'm really excited to see where they're gonna go. Number 9 is Winner's E, Exit. Baby, baby, 혼자가 싫어요. 2016 was not the happiest year for Winner, thanks to YG, but something that could lift some people's spirits but bring down others is listening to Winner's Exit. This album was incredible and honestly made me a Winner stan. I wasn't a huge fan of theirs before this, and then this album came out and it just showed me like real talent. Like, this album is just what talent looks like and what staying true to yourself and your sound looks like. Like, this is Winner sound forever and always, and I love it. Number 8 is Block B's Blooming Period. This album was on repeat for me for like weeks. You guys don't understand. It wasn't just, oh, I listen to this song every day, or I sometimes listen to the album this week. Like, this album, the whole album was on from beginning to end every day for like months. Like, this was crazy good for me, and just the direction that Block B chose to take with this album blew me away. Like, you don't understand, going from like Jackpot and Her to then this, like, how do you get here? And honestly, I know it's because of Taeil, it's because of Zico, it's because of the boys, and they're starting to become more active in their music, and you can tell. Like, this was such a gorgeous album, and I'm so proud of Block B and like where they've come from, all the struggles that they've gone through, and now they're here. And I'm glad that a lot of people recognized how good of an album this was. This came out at the beginning of the year, so you didn't hear much about it at the end of the year, especially like with award shows and stuff. But when it came out, I was just so happy that people were supporting Block B, and this album is honestly, in my opinion, their best one. Number 7 is not a K-pop group, it's actually a K-hip-hop duo, and it's J Park and Ugly Duck's Scene Stealers. work it out 땀으로 목욕하듯이 무르익은 분위긴 완전 사우나 난 지금 거의 혼자오리 박재범은 보란듯이 우통을 벗지 어들 눈이 동그래졌지 정글의 법칙 이런 구경은 어디서 못해 오로지 여기서 boom back and forth yeah. 오늘 밤 tell me where the party at 이쁜이 여성들 다 어디에 If you have not listened to this album, go bless yourself. Like, I don't think there has ever been a greater duo. Like, yes, I'm looking at you, Supreme Team. Like, this duo is amazing. And honestly, I feel like we were just all waiting for it. Like, Ugly Duck and J Park have been doing stuff for a long time now. And then when they came out with Scene Stealers, it was like just cemented in history. Like, this duo is amazing, and I hope that they do more stuff in the future, because from beginning to end, not one of these songs was a filler song. Not one of these songs was lacking in any way. It was all different. It was all new. It all had great features. This album was everything. Number 6 is B.A.P's Noir. This album though, like, you guys, this was so slept on. Honestly, all of 2016, I was not feeling B.A.P's sound and their vibe. I appreciated that they took a different direction in their sound. They were going for a partier sound, like more of a upbeat party kind of vibe. And it was cool because they had just come back, you know, it was their brand new releases after however many months. And it was cool to see them back. So it was like really fun and happy that they were back. But to be honest, it wasn't my favorite sound. So when they announced that they were going to be coming out with a full album, I was not really knowing what to expect. I was kind of like, okay, you know, whatever. Like, B.A.P, I love you, but I kind of love old B.A.P better. And then when they came out with this, with Noir, like, that just shut me up. Like, I was just stunned. And then I felt so bad because I was like, wow, you are such a fake fan. Like, B.A.P is so good, and this album really shows that even after their almost 2-year hiatus and all of the stuff that they went through with their company, and you know, like, that stuff can really break apart a group. And in this list, it shows that two of these groups are able to push through all that. Block B and B.A.P are really amazing, and this album, Noir, from beginning to end. I mean, I know I'm saying that for a lot of these albums, but this truly, honestly, this album, there is not a song on here that is not good. And every song is different from each other, but somehow still flow together perfectly. And I feel like they just, I don't know, like, they just did some black magic, some voodoo on this album, because it's amazing. Number 5 is FT Island's Take Me Now. A lot of people, especially like friends that I have that do listen to K-pop, and they don't really listen to rock. I listen to rock, and Day 6 is probably my favorite band in K-pop, but FT Island really showed me, like, you can be, you know, like, hard rock too and still be good in the K-pop universe. I feel like a lot of people in Korea don't really appreciate good rock, like the masses. I'm not talking about every single Korean, and that's such a blanket statement, but the masses in Korea, I feel like, are more into pop or rap right now, and not really into rock. That seems to be more of a Japanese thing. But Take Me Now, FT Island brought it back, and I loved FT Island's other albums and their singles and everything, and I actually like each band member as a person. Like, I've gotten into FT Island heavily, and this album is incredible. Like, it's such a good, solid album, and I just don't understand, like, how it got slept on so hard. Like, people just really did not boost it that much, which makes me really sad, because this is probably one of the best albums that FT Island has come out with, and I'm just, whew, it just blew me away when I heard it. Like, this is the best that it gets. Number 4 is 17's Love and Letter. I know the 17 came out with, you know, Going 17, but for me, Love and Letter is kind of the turning point of 17 in that this showed where they can go. Going 17, like, is definitely, like, where 17 is now and how good they are, and it's an incredible album, but Love and Letter was kind of the first time that I took 17 seriously. I had heard 17 Carat, I had heard Boys B, but they were kind of like that boy band. You're like, oh, they're so cute, you know, like, but that's kind of really all they are. And then when I heard Love and Letter, that was just, wow, that just opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, no, like 17, wow, they're gonna be that really serious contending boy band in a few years, maybe even a year if they keep going at the pace that they're going, which is extremely fast. It's crazy. And Love and Letter really kind of showed me what 17 can be. Number 3 is kind of cheating. I could say their repackaged album of all 3, but I'm just gonna say number 3 is Vixx's Whole Year, basically. I love Zelos, I love Hades, and I loved Kratos. So those 3 albums for me were just wow, and it's honestly what turned me into a Vixx fan. Before, if last year when I got into K-pop, if you had told me that you're going to love Vixx in a year, I would have said you were crazy. Like, I would have been like, no, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know me, you don't know nothing. And then Dynamite came out in 2016, and I was like, what? Like, is this really happening? Am I really turning into a Vixx fan? Like, no. And I was still denying it. I was like, okay, I like Dynamite, but I'm not a Vixx fan. And then they came out with Hades and Fantasy, and I was just like, okay, like, am I a Vixx fan? I guess I am. And then Kratos came out, and I was just like, it's official. Like, you can't lie to yourself anymore, Catherine. You're a Vixx fan. So those 3 albums were incredible for me, and I love listening to them. I listen to at least one, like, on the daily. I love them all so much. And then I love Milky Way that they came out with on their repackaged album for all 3 of the albums, or singles albums, not really albums. But then Milky Way was good too, and just like Vixx can do no wrong. Like, it's so lovely to see that a boy band, even though they've been around for a while, they can still come up with fresh ideas, new concepts, and amazing videos and choreographies. Number 2 is SHINee's 1 and 1, or 1+1. I don't think I am ever, like, not amazed by SHINee. When they came out with One of One, I was like, all right, this is a good album. Like, this is all I need in my life. This is incredible. And then they came out with One and One. And SHINee just has this ability to top themselves every single comeback and then every single album. So it never just stops at the original album. Whenever they come out with their repackaged, it's always 10 times better, and I don't know how they do it. Like last year when they came out with Odd, that was when it was pretty close to when I became a K-pop fan, and I was like, Odd is amazing, Odd can do no wrong, Odd is incredible, like this is as good as it gets. And then they came out with Married to the Music, and I was just even more blown away. And I mean, there's a reason they're my bias group. They are my ultimate bias group. And wow, and One and One just made me so happy, and it was the cherry on top. And number 1 My favorite K-pop album of 2016 was BTS's Wings. Now I know I just said that SHINee is my ultimate bias group, and then how can number one be BTS's Wings? Well, BTS really impressed me not only with just coming out with an album after they came out with basically 2 albums months before. They came out with an album that they all worked on. Yoongi, Namjoon, I know some other members, like they were all very important to the making of the album, and it really impresses me when a boy band makes their own material. Groups like SHINee, groups like EXO, I love them to death, I really do, and sometimes I know it sounds like, especially with EXO recently, I know I've been kind of hating on them, and I apologize for that, but there's a reason that BTS is a step above EXO in my eyes. It's because they take part in their own songmaking. I know EXO, they write some songs. I know Chen has been involved. I know Chanyeol really, Chanyeol's been doing good stuff. But for a long time, pretty much since the beginning of BTS, these boys have been involved in their music, and not just their music, their choreographies, and just everything that they are. And honestly, this album showed it. I also think it's impressive that they each came out with a solo song, which, wow, like there could be, I couldn't think of a better way to kind of introduce each of the members. I think when we think of BTS right now, we only think of them as a group, and it's kind of hard. I know Namjoon and Yoongi have come out with mixtapes now, but it's kind of hard to think of the singers to really like branch off and do their own thing, because BTS is just BTS right now. Like we don't really want to separate them right now. And I think it's just so beautiful how they did it, and they each did a solo song, and it was just the most perfect way to kind of say to the fans, like, you know what? But it's okay if we separate. Like, it's okay if we each do our own thing, and let's give you a taste of that. So I think they just did it perfectly. Big hit, just really did an amazing job with them, and I'm so impressed with this album, and that's why it's just number one.